everybody. Thanks for joining me to color today. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we're going to be working on this adorable Whimsy Stamps image called Penguin Trick-or-Treaters. Aren't they cute? I love them. And Halloween is always a fun time for me because it's my birthday. I know, something special. So while we're waiting to see if everybody wants to come and color today, I'm going to have a quick commercial. So this is this week's. So next week, we are going to be doing this adorable freebie that Whimsy Stamps has allowed us to use. So I put a link to this down at the bottom of the description box. It's Whimsy Stamps Lizzie. So thank you, Whimsy, for sharing that with us so that we can have something to color next week. So if you want to pick her up, go pick her up and print her out, and we will color her next Thursday, the 21st at noon. So that's what we're going to be coloring next week. Hi, Dee. Thanks for joining me. Also, we are going to have, let me see. Oh, this was this week's Christmas card kit called Winter Wonder. If you haven't picked her up yet, head over to the store and pick her up because there's only a few left. And when she's gone, she's gone. I'm not going to be making more of her because I've got a pile of Christmas stamps to make up. But isn't she cute? Also, we are having, my sale this week is going to be Ranger inks, markers, and re-inkers. Those are going to be 50% off. So if you would like to get some Ranger inks, that 50% off, use the coupon code RANGER, all one word. And that's good until the 20th. So if you need some Ranger inks, re-inkers, markers, oxide inks, re-inkers for those, such and such, you will be able to get all of that for 50% off. Just go over and type in the code RANGER in the checkout and it will give you half off. Thank you, Cloud9 Crafts, for Jada, for joining me. And, oh, let's see, the Bay Beaker. Oh, hello. Can't wait for you guys. Hi, Trish. So also, last week, we did a drawing for this adorable Sherry Baldy, My Bestie stamp called Tina Tatters. So thanks, everybody who tried to win this stamp. This week's winner is going to be Linda Edinger. So if Linda, if you could go ahead and email me at heathershobbyhaven@hotmail.com, I will drop that in the mail to you and we will send that out tomorrow so that you can get that. This week's drawing, since we're having Whimsy Stamp stuff here in the next couple weeks, we are going to do this super adorable Love You Slow Much stamp. And I use this to make a card kit, so it is used. But if you would like to win this cutie, there's a link at the bottom of the description box for you to do whatever it requires for you to get a bunch of entries, and you could win this cutie patootie right here. Hi, Sue. Thanks for joining me. So, super cute. So that's this week's chance for a prize. I still have a whole bunch in my bucket, believe it or not, guys. Okay, so we're going to work on this cutie here with the penguins. So I've already stamped my little guys here on some Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock. That's what I use all the time. I really like it. So let me get my instructions out. Let me move some stuff here. Let's zoom down. So sorry if it's a little shaky. Whoops, wrong way. How come every week I go the wrong direction? Okay, let's see if that's close enough before I get started here. No, I'm going to say that's a little too close. Let's go out just a little bit. Okay, let's try. No, that's way too. See what I mean? Who knows what I need. Okay, we're going to go with that. Hopefully that is close enough for everybody to see and be able to view something. Mike's got me doing multiple things in here, so I am watching different screens for a bunch of stuff. All right, so we're going to start out by doing some outlining, and for that we're going to use C00. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to go around the outside. So I'm going to start here at the bottom of my pumpkin. And go around. And for me, this kind of makes it pop up a little bit so it doesn't look quite so flat. And I like to do it first so I don't have to worry about catching any of the colors I already colored and pulling them out into the the background. I forgot what I was going to say. So nothing fancy, just all the way around. And I don't usually care how thick the line is. I just let the pin go all the way around, and what I get is what I get. And if you do tend to get some on your little people or your image, it's easy to erase because there's nothing else on there yet. I usually don't mind, like right here I colored this scarf. That's not going to matter. I'm going to just color right over the top of that. All right. So there we go. So far, so good. So we're going to jump right in with the black, which for me is the hardest. I don't know about you girls, but black for me is not that easy to color. It is always... Let me move my cup further away from the microphone, then you don't want to hear me banging those around. So let's see here. We're going to need W10, 8, 6, 4, 1, 0, and 00. So all W's. So we got quite a few here. So we're going to start with W10. And W10, let's go ahead and start over here on this little sheriff guy first. So I'm going to do W10 sparingly, wherever I want it to be the darkest. So let's go right in here. And I love that there's some little dots there for us already, so he's kind of shaded already. We're going to do his head first. And then over here, where it kind of tucks down more, I'm going to go clear underneath in this little pointy spot. And then he's got kind of dips in right here, but I'm going to wait and leave that as a shiny area. Okay, and I don't want to do too much because you want to be able to, you don't want it to dry. So I'm going to do W8. So touch down on top of your W10. We're just going to wipe up a little bit into our white. Bring this up just a little bit right here. So it looks like it's kind of curving over right there at the top. Okay, and then we're going to add W6. And you could, if you didn't have the W6, you had the markers in a row, you could go right in a row with 10, 9, 8, 7. I just skipped every other one just to space them out a little bit. And then we go over those last three with W4. So I go ahead and start down here at the bottom and just swipe over the entire area and fill it in. And then let's go down here and do his body. So again, grab W10. And let's see here. Let's do, since this part goes clear underneath of his body, I'm going to bring my line out to over here past his foot. And then let's bring this up. I'm going to do a skinny line up there towards the star. We're also going to want to do a little dab right next to our star. And then for his arm, let's go right a little bit there at the bottom and then go right next to his body. And there's a little crease right here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then on the other side of the star. And then for his upper body up here, let's do underneath of this scarf. And I think I'll bring this down just a tad. Like that. Then we're going to add W8. I fill in that top part. And then let's bring this down. How many of you girls picked up a kit and are coloring along today? I'm going to connect the line right here at the bottom. And let's go underneath this other side of our little sheriff pin. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us. Next, we're going to add W6. Is this close enough for everybody, or do you think I should go a little bit closer? Zoom in more. I'm going to go ahead and fill this side in. But even though I filled it in, I'm going to go ahead and go over it still with the W4. And that will kind of smush all the colors together. Whoops, I colored my sheriff pin there. That's not very good. Let's see, did I bring my blender in here? I did. Let's see if we can get rid of this up here. We don't want our sheriff's badge to be black. Okay. Gotta give that time to dry. I'm sorry to hear, Anna, that you gave up stamping and coloring, but I'm glad you're here to watch. Dee, did you get all of those lantern boys cut out yet, or are you still cutting them all out? Those were hard to cut out. Fussy cutting is not that great. Thanks, Sue. I'm glad this is close enough. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to move on. So let's go ahead and work on this next little guy here. So again, I'm going to start with W10. And because his face is dipped in over here, let's go ahead and do this little pointy spot right here. And then there's a little bit of his back right here. I'm just going to color this little triangle section in right there so that I don't have to look at it anymore. I'm going to cheat the system. Okay, and then let's go down here. And then I'm going to use a little tiny line right next to his face. Just darken that up a little bit. And we'll do the same thing for the back. And then we're going to do above his nose, or his beak. And as long as we got this out, let's do his eye patch too. So I'm going to do kind of around the outside. Well, the inside, but the edges. that. And then just like the other side, let's go right next to his face. And we'll do this little bitty skinny area. Whoops, I colored my finger. And then we will add W8. Well, you're getting closer, D. Only 4 more to go. You have to be careful. You haven't cut any of the lanterns off yet, have you? Going around that lantern's kind of tricky. Then we're going to add W6. And there's just a little bit left over here, so I'm going to color this in. Okay, and then we'll go over all 3 with our W4. Okay, then we're going to head down here and we will work on his body. So let's grab W10 again. Okay, let's see. Let's do his little arms. All right, so I'm going to do like a little outline. And then we're going to come away from his face. And there's a little patch right here I should have colored in when I did before because it's this little guy's body right here. The other side of his face, so we're going to color that in. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to go right along the edge. Does any of you girls, do you have trouble coloring with black too, or is it just me? And then down here, he's got a little patch of his body showing right by the pumpkin. Let's color that. Then we're going to add W8. Then we'll go W6. And it's close over here, so I'm going to color this section in. and then W4 to go over the rest, or over the previous 3, and then fill in the parts that we didn't do. Black is especially hard for me, Sue. It's not that easy to do black. I guess maybe because it's just so dark that if you mess it up, you're pretty much stuck with it. And black hair is like the worst for me. I just need to practice more. And let's see here. We got his body over here. Okay, so now we are going to do the inside. So for the inside, we're going to use W1, 0, and double 0. And let me see here. Oh, I need something for their cheeks. So let's do our 30 and 32 for the inside of this one's mouth. Okay, so we're going to do W1 first. Hi, Poland31. Glad you could join us. Hi, Julie. Okay, so we're going to go with W1. So I'm going to add some shadows. And since this guy's kind of leaning over here, I'm going to go with him this way. And then we're going to bring it down so it kind of blends into, there's really skinny here along the edge, and it blends into this little section. And then same over here. Oh, well, this side we're going to make it a little bit fatter. Since he's leaning that way, we're going to go up and bring it around. And then down here where he's got his little cheek, I'm going to give it a little extra something out here on the inside. And then same with the other side. We're going to swoop it down, and then we're going to just kind of come to a little point down here at the bottom. Then let's see, let's finish this little guy up. So let's grab W0 next. So for that, I'm just going to go right along the edge. So I'm going to touch down on my W1, and I'm going to flick just a tiny bit past that W1. Because I don't want his face to be gray. And then we'll go over that with W0 or W00. And again, go over W1 and 0 and pull past just a little bit. And that'll leave just a little bit of white there in the middles. And then we're going to go with our 30 to give him a little bit of a cheek. So I'm going to go where his little smiley face is and go kind of in the middle over here. And then you can see just a little bit of his tongue inside of his mouth. So I'm going to use my R32 to color that. And then we're going to move on to the next guy. So again, start with W1. So we're going to go like we did with these guys over here. I'm going to go with the skinny point here on my black. Come up so it comes around the eye patch, and then it gets a little bit thicker up here at the top. Come down to his cheek. Bring his cheek out here into his face a little bit. And then pull that around until it gets skinny down here at the bottom. And we'll do the same over here. Remember, give it a little extra right there. And we want to go underneath of his bandana. And we want to go underneath this arm right here a little bit. Then we want to go over that with W0. So I'm just going past the edge of the line just a little bit. How many of you girls have finished your Halloween cards? Or have you started them? I'm going to bring this around the bottom by his feet too. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining us. So now we're going to go with W00. I get to celebrate Halloween because it's my birthday. But now that we have Lexi and the little Natalie, they like to go trick-or-treating, so we get to go do that. Usually it was just me and my Mr. Hobby Haven. We'd go out to dinner and leave the house so we didn't have to deal with all those trick-or-treaters. But it's gotten now where there's not too many trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood, so a few. But not a million. Okay, and then we want to give him some cheek color, so R30. And let's go right here. And let's see, how about there? Looks pretty good. Now we're going to move on to this last little guy over here. So again, grab W1 and let's go right next to this other guy. I'm glad you found us too, Teresa. Are you having fun coloring? Are you just watching today? Okay, and then for his face, we're again going to go really skinny here at the bottom, kind of widen it out towards the top. And we'll soften that with W0. And remember, you touch down on top of your W1. Then we'll do W0, double zero. And I like to swipe over the previous two. And we need to give him some cheek color. They're pretty cute. They look real funny of sitting there with everything else not colored and just them. But cute. Okay, so let me see here. Next we want to do their feet and their beaks and the pumpkin. So we will need, let's see, YR27, YR14, and then Y17. And let's see, we'll need the pumpkin stem too, so let's grab those. So YG 95, 93, and 91. Okay, so let's do their beaks and stuff and their feet. So we're going to start with YR 27. And let's start with this little guy over here on the end since he's only got his beak. There's no feet down here. So let's go. And his little mouth here at the bottom is pretty small, so you're going to want to use just the very tip of your pen. So I'm going to try to leave like a little shiny spot in the middle of their beaks. All right, and then we'll go over here and we'll do this little guy. Then we're going to add YR14. And I'm going to cover up, I'm going to fill in the bottom part. And then we will take Y17 and then go over their entire beak. Oops, I colored his face. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have to give that a second coat, but let me fix this little boo-boo right here. We don't want his face to be orange. Okay, so I'm going to darken up their beak. So let's start again with our YR27. And then we'll do our YR14. And then go over that section there in the middle a little bit with our Y17. Try not to push it so hard this time so that it stays nice there, not mush all the color from the really light color out to pushing all the dark colors out. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we got his little feet down here, so let's go again with our YR27. So, on this little guy, I'm going to go underneath of his body and then kind of go between his little feet. And then over here, we're going to pull it out so it looks like this side. So he's got that little spot there, but the rest is the dark in the back. And then for these, I'm going to go around the outside and then under his body. And then we'll add YR14. And then we'll fill it in with our Y17. And you could give this a second coat too, but I think I'm going to leave them like that. And go over here and work on my little pumpkin. Okay, so my little pumpkin. Let's go. He's got the top on here, so I'm going to brush away from the top. Give it a little bit of color here coming away. And then just a little bit, maybe up here. Whoops. Don't color the stem. Up here at the top. And then for the pumpkin part, let's come down this, but I'm going to go on the outside of this one all the way down. And then same for the next one. Let's go this way and then we'll come down. And then we're just going to work our way across to the other side. And same thing for the side. I'm going to bring it up that seam right there. Bye, Poland81. Have a great night. Next, we'll do YR14. Okay, so for his face, I don't want to cover up his face in here. So let's go. I'm going to try to keep it with some little streaks here at the top. And then around the outside, we can pull some color. So like over here, pull a little bit longer strokes. Like that. And then I'm going to fill it in with my Y17. I'm going to color right over the top of his face. And then for his nose, I'm going to use the YR27 to fill that in. Then, hi Mary, glad you could join us. Sorry, let's turn the lid around. Okay, so for the stem, we're going to do YG95. It's not going to be too fancy. And then 93. And then over both of those with 91. Not too bad. Well, there we go. Pretty fun. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this little guy's bag here next. So that we're going to use E43, 42, and 41. How's everybody doing with their coloring so far? Are we doing all right? Okay, so we're going to start with E43, and I just wanted it to be like have some lines come from the outside, so I'm going to turn my little guy here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to try to do, first I'm going to do a line right here so I can pull off of it. So we're going to go down here. And let's go ahead and do one on this side too, because it'll make it easier for me to flick off of this line than to try to just touch that line. So we're going to go like this. And we'll do the same thing for this side. And I'll probably add a second coat of that, but we're going to do with E42 next. And again, I'm just going to start here on my line I put down. And we're going to pull across. And then we'll go over the whole thing with E41. And I'm going to come back with E43 and put that back on. And we got a candy bag. It always seems like that bag is full of just too much stuff. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go over and do... let's do the cowboy hat. So for that, we're going to use Y26, YR23, and Y23. And we're going to do the little sheriff's badge too. Okay, so we're going to go with Y26 first. Let's go ahead and start down here on a little sheriff's badge first. And for that, what I did is I just picked a side And I kind of did half of the star. So let's go like this. Nothing too fancy. And then I filled in the outside star with my YR23. And then I went over the whole thing with my Y23, and I filled in the center. And then I'm going to come back with Y26 and put that little shadow on the edge back in. And we'll go up here and we will do the little hat. Okay, so for his little hat, let's do, let's see, let's go away from his body. So let's go up here. This. And then for this side, let's do the same thing. So let's pull away from his body. And then for the hat part, let's say this is curving up, so we definitely want to do it in here, but let's go underneath this hat band. And then for his hat, let's pull in and then go along the brim. And we're going to do the same thing up here, go across the hat band. And we'll probably give this a second coat, so we're not worried if, you know, how that looks so far. I'm going to go with our YR23. And I've started at the edge of my cat and I'm pulling past the Y26. And then I'm going to fill it in with Y23. So even though I colored over here, I'm still going to go over the entire hat. Then, like I did the star, I'm going to come back with my Y26 and put that color back in there a little bit. Oops, lost my pen. How you girls doing with your coloring? You doing all right? You still coloring along with me? I've been deserted. There's no one there. Okay, so now we're going to go with W8, R29, R27, R05, and R22. And we're going to do the hat band and his scarf. So we are going to, don't run off there, Pin. He's trying to escape. We're going to start with W8. Okay, so W8. We're going to do a little bit of that at the edges of his little bandana, or his hat band up here. Like that. Then we're going to go over that with R29. So I'm going to go right over the top of that W8, and I'm going to pull past it. And I colored the hat. Hopefully you're not going to do that. Then we'll add R27. R05. And then our R22, I like to go over the entire thing. So you're not coloring today, you're going to color him later, right? Okay, so then for his little scarf, again, let's grab W8. And I'm going to give my little scarf over here a little notch. Like it's got a little wrinkle there. And then let's do a little bit of our W8 where the little knot is holding it together. And then over here, let me see here. Can make sure I'm still on the screen there. I'm going to go underneath of his chin where this wrinkle is. And we're going to bring that out a little bit. And then I'm going to do my W8 along this wrinkle right here. I'm going to try not to color his face. And let's do a little bit right here. Just a little dab. Okay, then we're going to go with R29. So remember, we're going to cover right over the top of that W8. Trying to be careful not to get my red everywhere because that will not come off. It's kind of like this black here. It's just not very helpful. And I'm going to cover in this section underneath of his face. And then let's go ahead and bring this around the bottom. That's why you can watch it later too, so that, you know, even though you're watching it live and you're watching me coloring it, if you're watching the video later, you always have the option of pausing so that you can get caught up. I know my videos, I like to do them live because I'm a visual learner. I have to be able to see what someone's doing in order for me to get it right. So that's why I always do my videos real time, so that people who are visual learners like me will have a chance to see what I'm coloring while I'm doing it, not speeding it up, because I can't learn anything that way. That's not for me. But you can always, you know, I know they're pretty long. So if you got an hour-long video, you can always watch it for 15 minutes, or watch me color the hair, or watch me color one section. And then just remember when you come back next time that you're going to start where you left off. Instead of watching the whole thing over, you can you know, watch it from 10 minutes in or 20 minutes in or however long you spent last time. And then it's not quite so long. Okay, then we're going to do R22. How many of you girls are visual learners and you like to do, you learn better by watching rather than having the instructions? Or do you feel that I should maybe speed my video up? Here's a question. Do you want it to be faster? Okay, so there's this little bandana. So next, let's do this little pirate guy here. So he's going to be B99, 97, 95, and 52. So we got some dark colors here. Okay, we're going to start with B99. And let's go. That's a good plan, Sue. You color along later and then you can pause it. Okay, so B99, we're going to go right along his face. So let's go with a little tiny line right up to this knot. Okay, and this little wrinkle right here, let's go on the other side of that. But I'm also going to brush out just a little bit from this side. And then we'll brush away from our knot. And let's see. Let's go on this side where it's wrinkled up. Let's go on the other side of that. So towards the top. And then over here, we have, let's go kind of give it a little V up here at the top. So like here's a little wrinkle, we'll go down the wrinkle and then kind of give it a little bit up here so it's a darker in that little crease. Okay, and then for the knot, let me move this. For the knot, there's a little pleat right here, so let's do that. And then I'm gonna do a little dab on the bottom here. And then we got our bow. And then of course we have the bow on this side. B97. All right, so we're going to go. We just want to go ahead and add a little bit more color just to soften that B99 because that's really dark. I think I need to bring this out just a little bit more here. Okay. And we're going to bring this V out just a little bit more. And let's bring this line out a little bit more. Okay. All right, so we are going to go with B95. So B95, let's see here. Let's add some more to our knot. More to our V. Okay. And then we're going to go over the entire hat with B52. So let's just start over here at this side and swipe clear across and back. A little bit of a line right there, so I'm going to go ahead and brush my B99 up towards the top of my hat and kind of pull that color up. Smush it all together. He's just too cute. Okay, so that leaves with this little cutie over here. So that little cutie, we are going to use W8, and there's our very darkest one, V9, V17, V15, and then for the inside of the band, we're going to use YR23 and Y17. So we're going to start with, well, let's do the inside of the band first, since that will hopefully help me so I'm not coloring in there. We're going to start with YR23. And let's do, I'm going to color in this little section over here. And then for inside the buckle, I'm just going to brush away from my buckle a little bit. Leave a little bit of light space there in the center. We'll see how that looks. Then we'll go with our Y17. So even though I colored this side in, I'm going to add my Y17 over the top of it. I will keep all the colors the same. Pretty. Okay, W8. All right, let's see here. Let's do the underside of our hat first. So let's start right here. Okay, and then over here, we're going to do a little bit. Okay, we need some wrinkles up here, so let's go with, well, let's start down here. So we're going to go with this little wrinkle. I don't care about that little crink. We're just going to color right over the top of that. And then up here, let's add some wrinkles. So let's see, it's going to dips in right here. Let's go wrinkle. And here's a dip. And here's a dip. And I think I'm going to do one right here. Give it a little bit of character there. Sue, it's going to be awesome. Your hat is going to turn out awesome. Okay, now we're going to go with V09. So what I want to do with that is I want to color right over the top of what I just colored with that black. So I'm going to color right over the top of it, and I'm going to go just a little bit past. Not a whole heck of a lot. Okay, like that. And then up here, same thing. We're going to go right along where that black was. And go like this. Okay, but I want to bring this color along the brim. And we're going to bring this up. And we want to go underneath of this buckle. Like that. Okay. Then up here, again, we're going to go right next to this ribbon, the hat band. And let's go over the top of this buckle. Okay, and then we want to go over these wrinkles. And this is very dark, so you're going to want to be careful. If it's like mine, I don't use this very much. So if you don't use it that much, you might want to pop the end off the other side to hopefully avoid one of those big blobby things that happen when they're too full. And then we're going to add V17. So I'm going to color in this bottom section right here. Then let's add some color. Okay, so I want to use, for my what's left? V15, I want it to be my lightest section. So I'm just going to leave a couple little spots where there's going to be some streaks. So let's go with a streak right here. And how about one right here? So this will be a light streak. And then up here, let's do one like this. And then we're going to bring one off of this. And bring one right here. But that way I have that white right there, and it will be filled in with my V15. And I might have to go over it again, but we'll see here in just a second. Because see how light it is? It's way lighter than the, it doesn't look like it on the cap, but it's way lighter than the V17. And we're just going to wipe across our whole hat. Okay, I think I'm going to do another coat of V17. At least up here on the top. I'm liking this section, but right up here, I'm not really loving this. I think I'll add another coat down here anyway. Now, we'll add another coat of our V15 over these little stripes. Like so. They're just awfully cute, aren't they? Okay, the ground, E43. We got to give them something to stand on. They can't be just floating in air, so let's give them something to, whoops, get back up there, pin. Okay, so let's go with, I don't want it to just be flat across, so let's go up on our pumpkin a little bit. So let's go about, a quarter of the way. And then I kind of get in here. Be careful going around this. Then I go along the bottom. And then when I get out here, I just kind of pull my pen and just flick it along. But I be careful when I'm going next to their body. Let's go ahead and go right around this guy's foot. And then, of course, we're going to go out here. Okay, and then we want to bring, again, I want to brush it. I need to move my paper here. Okay, so I take it and I brush my pen and just brush it out like this. Same for this side. And you can bring it down as far as you want. You could add some more like lines. You could go like so. Aren't they adorable? So this little hat right here, I used, and I forgot to bring it in here, so we're not going to deal with that right now, but I used a Sakura Jelly Roll Stardust pen. It's silver, sparkly, but since I didn't bring that, I'm just going to take this Spica Clear glitter pen and color it in. You could also do, oh, let's do W1. Should have done that first. So I'm going to go W1. In case you don't have the little glitter pen, and then go right over that with your glitter. And then you can do your spider web. And I did my spider with some black, but I didn't like it the first time, so this time I'm going to just use some clear to add some sparkles on top of him. That will give him some sparkles. Okay, then on my little card, right up here in the corner is this cute little doodah right here. I drew that on there. So let me grab, we're going to Copic Multiliner 0.2. And we are going to draw him on. So let me get a piece of paper here. And it wasn't anything fancy. I mean, you can do, use your ruler or whatever. I'm just going to use this little piece of paper because that's what I have. And I brought it over till it's about just before this little notch on his hat. So I'm going to draw a line like that. Then I'm going to turn him. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to I'm kind of eyeballing it so it's even on the outside. And then I went down till on the little purple hat above that. So I'm going to say oh, poop. Good job, Heather. You're not going to do that. Okay, so you're going to do like that. And then I took my pen or my ruler. And let's see, let's say this is going to be the middle. So let's go right here. Okay, so you're going to take your ruler, your paper, or whatever, and you're going to go, boop. And you're going to do the same thing over here. So again, grab your paper, your ruler, whatever you're using. Go like so. So you got that great little doodah there in the corner. And believe it or not, I think it's Whimsy Stamps has a little stamp that will do this for you if you don't want to draw it on there. And I'm like, I don't have that. So I'm like, I'm so going to draw it. Okay. So I brought up the edges here. Colored them in. And then let's make this corner white. So we're going to go like this. And then you can make your squares as big or as little as you want. Whoops, I guess this one's not going to be white this time. This time it's going to be black. And there you have a beautiful corner that you can do all by yourself. So, you know, as a little decoration. Not too bad. Hi. Is it, let's see, 1982. Beach by 19. Hello, how are you today? All right, so we're going to go with our cute little image. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit and we will put our card together. So we got all this great stuff here. So let me see. We're going to need some brads. Poker thing. Okay, so we're going to start out by, I wanted to attach on my card, I have this little sentiment here. And that little sentiment is from the, let me look. CC Designs Wishful Thinking sentiment set. It does not come with your kit. You only get this one little sentiment here that I stamped that you can put on your card. But I wanted to put the brads on before I attached it to the card so that it's all popped up. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this whole front thing first and then put it onto our card. And these little dies right here are from, I've been cleaning up my area and I found this little die. See what you find when you're searching? It's a Spellbinders die called Witch's Brew. So that was like, these are like 8 billion years old, the die is. So we're going to go like this, and everything on the card is crooked. So I'm going to go ahead and set it on here, even though we're not going to attach it, just so I can kind of get a feel of where it's going to go. Okay. And all the paper's double-sided, so you could use the back if you wanted. You can make the card kit your own. You can cut it up, make different size papers, you know, whatever you want to do. But on this piece, it has this little scroll right here in the middle, or on the edge, and I purposely made sure the paper had 4 sides that had this on there, so I made sure all the kits got one of these little swirls. And then, let's see, so let's go, whoops. And this one is on top of the black one, so like so. And then next is the little candy corn. And this one actually, I got lucky, and this one has a card on the back, but it's a bunch of cards on the back, so you may not have this. It may be cut up. But this is next. I got lucky and got Hello Halloween on there. And then I kind of set this one up here in the corner for that little swirl there. Then next is this one, or you can use the black dots. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go with this piece is still on the black piece. It's kind of hanging off down here at the bottom. So let's go, right like so. How about like that? Then is our little guy. And doesn't that little swirl there just kind of give it a little something extra? And I drew it on myself, so it's not costing you anything else. Although if you're like me, you probably have some kind of stamps with swirls or lines or what have you on it. If you look through your stash, you might find that. And then this is, whoops. This is going to go like about right here. Okay, then we got our little candy thing. I want candy. So this is going to go on here. So I have this little spongy thing. I don't even know where I got this. It come with, I think it was Stampin' Up! Hole puncher thing. But I put this on top of here. And then you can put your little words wherever you want them. And then I'm going to use my little stabber thing, my little poker. And I'm going to go clear through. Make it a little bit bigger. And over here, let's do right. Is that in the middle? It's kind of hard to see. Like that. And the brads come in your kit too, so you have those. Okay. And then you just, whoops. Now see, I'm going to have trouble putting the, let's put the paper onto the brad first. That might be a little bit easier. And you just stab it through the little hole. Making it more difficult than it actually is, I'm sure. Okay. Like this. Okay, and then you want to, whoops, flip it over, mush those down. Ow. Do not stab yourself with the back of those. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And this probably could have been a little bit flatter. Here, let's stretch it out and kind of yank those holes a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to attach this, but I popped it up so I wouldn't have to worry about these. So let's go ahead and put some pop dots on here. And I always save this little bitty extra piece here for in case I need a little skinny thing for something. Okay, and then I'm going to put one of these bigger ones in the middle. Okay, and then of course you have to remove all this backing paper. I think this is the hardest part of the whole card, is this silly paper on the back of these pop dot things. Or am I the only one that has problems removing the paper from these? Okay. Okay, so then I always check to make sure my card is going the way I want it to. Otherwise, it may be upside down or whatever. So I always check that. Because I've done that before, put it on upside down. Okay. Stick that. And then next, we're going to put the little hat on here. Come on, Pop Dot. Okay, so let's see. Let's put one up here. And back to the hardest part, the stupid paper. And then we have these cute little shoes. So you girls have any questions? Or are you just going to get out your kit and you're going to color it? Oops. Better flip this one over. I'll put the pop dot on the wrong side. So don't forget, next week we are going to be doing the Whimsy Stamps Lizzie image, and they have given us that for free. There's a link down in the description box if you want to head over and grab that. It's at the bottom of the post. It's over on their Facebook page, so you'll probably have to like their page or something so that you can see it. I'm not sure how that works, but I put a link down there for you to go grab it. They also, if you get their newsletter, that came with a link to go get it from the from a download from like Dropbox or something like that. So if you're on their mailing list, you probably already had the newsletter, so make sure to go look at that. Pick one up. You can color with me next week, and I didn't resize it to anything. I just printed it out the same size that it was when I got it. But there is our adorable penguin trick-or-treaters. Aren't they cute? Now I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do this little a boo-boo right here that I did with a pen. Maybe one of those sand erasers that I have. Maybe that will take that off. I will try that later to see if that comes off, because, you know, I'm going to have to send this card to someone. I don't have any idea who that's going to be, but if you would like to receive this cute card in the mail, make sure to leave me a comment down below, and I will, or you can email me at heathershobbyhaven@hotmail.com, and I will put everybody that said, yay, I want to have this card mailed to me in a little hat and pull out a name, and I will mail it out to you. How about that? Does that sound good? So don't forget that this is our giveaway this week, the Whimsy Stamp You Love You So Much stamp. There's a link down in the description box if you want to enter for that, and you can enter multiple times. There's different things you do to get an entry for whatever, and I'll draw a winner for this stamp next week at our live coloring, and it is used. I used it for a card kit, so just so you know. But you can enter for that, because last week's winner was Linda. So Linda, don't forget to email me at heathershobbyhaven.com, and I will mail this out to you. But this is the cutie we're doing next week, in case you missed the commercial at the front. Her name's Lizzie. So make sure to head over and grab her. And don't forget that I'm having a sale 50% off all Ranger inks, markers, and re-inkers until the 20th. You just have to put Ranger in the coupon code when you check out, and you can have half off all of your Ranger ink pads and stuff. And there's some that are in the clearance section. So if you want those, make sure to go grab it, because you can still use the coupon. So I hope you guys all had fun coloring with me today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by and watching my channel. Make sure to hit the like button so that everybody can, know you love the video and share it with everybody. That would be awesome. Otherwise, I guess we will see you next Thursday at noon for more coloring. Or if you're going to join me tonight for Bible journaling, I will see you at 7:30. Have a great day, guys. Bye.